And we have more special coverage now from the Paris Olympics. This is one of the landmark venues. The Sun King's Palace will be the site for the equestrian competition. And Heather has a special look at one of the many architectural jewels at Versailles. She takes us inside the Great Stables.
I'm not sure which is more impressive, the setting or the spectacle. I'm inside Le Grand Manège, the indoor arena of the Great Stables of the Palace of Versailles, a magnificent building restored in 2003 to house the National Equestrian Academy. These elite riders are practicing for the shows they perform here every weekend. And in fact, the moves that they're practicing right now date back hundreds of years, an art so refined that nobility from all around the area would come to Versailles to see it firsthand. These stables were commissioned by Louis XIV and designed by the same architect responsible for the Hall of Mirrors inside the palace and built between 1679 and 1682. It was the greatest royal construction project for housing horses ever undertaken. Horses were very important at his court and a symbol of the king's power. There are horses depicted in paintings, in sculptures, and fountains throughout the palace grounds. At one point, there were more than 2,000 horses housed here. The Academy trains about 40 right now, but these beautiful creatures are about to be joined by dozens more horses from all around the world. Well, they won't be staying at these stables, but they'll be staying close by, because Versailles is set to be the venue for all of the Olympic equestrian events, dressage, jumping, and eventing, all set against the most breathtaking of backgrounds, Olympic moments reviving royal memories.
And there are 6 Canadian riders and their horses in the equestrian events at Versailles. Getting them all to Paris took some Olympic-level organizing. Here's Heather with a look at one of the team managers.
Emily, welcome back to Olympic competition.
Thank you.
Didn't have a team qualify for Tokyo, but here you are at Versailles for the Paris Games. How's everyone feeling about that?
I think everyone is feeling so excited. The horses and the athletes have settled in so well. Right now we're based about 3 hours out of Versailles in a town called Lanier, at a place called Pôle du Cheval et du Lanay, in a department called Le Cher, and they have hosted Canada. They have the Olympic rings up in their village.
Really?
They've made a huge Canadian flag out of flowers.
They'll be
and they have
cheering
just
for
been
you.
the most amazing, amazing hosts. So the horses are settled, the athletes are settled, and we're really all working on our plans and really zeroing in on Versailles.
How do you feel about this as your venue?
I mean, it is just, there's no words for it. I mean, to stand up here and look out on it just essentially feels like it is the Olympics of a lifetime. Our athletes I think they're just going to be blown away when they see it. And our goal will be to keep them focused, but also make sure they don't miss the moment.
They can't miss the moment.
Exactly.
It's so spectacular.
Exactly.
Herculean is the word that I think of in terms of bringing horses overseas to compete.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the logistics involved in getting the team, the horses and riders here.
Yeah, so for us, we had a bit of a fun logistical challenge. So we had 4 horses coming from 4 different places. So we had one horse, El Mundo, which is Mike Winter's horse, that came from the UK. Then we had Carl Slezak's horse, Hal Bobo. She came from Ocala, Florida, shipped out of Miami to Amsterdam, and then she did ground transport with Carl in tow from Amsterdam to Lanier, our staging venue. Then we had 2 horses meet up from Ontario. They went to JFK in New York. They then went to Belgium.
That's incredible.
And then they came here.
And everything turned out okay?
And actually it all turned out very smoothly, and 3 of them arrived from all different places within 35 minutes of each other. So it's a very smooth trip over for them.
That's spectacular. So
Yes.
they're all getting ready to go.
Yes, they are.
And in terms of considerations, now that things are here, I mean, we're here on a beautiful sunny day. I was checking the forecast. You begin competition
Yes.
right after the opening ceremony. The temperatures look okay, mid-20s, but there has been a big concern about heat for eventing. How big an issue is that for you?
So I don't think for our horses it will be a huge consideration. Certainly always with eventing horses, really post cross-country recovery and rehydration strategies are always important. We have a sports science sponsor we work really closely with to make sure the horses have everything they could need. And of course for us, one of the other things is these horses have come from relatively similar climates, and they've been here a week now to acclimate to this environment.
Okay.
So we're really hoping it's not a huge consideration, but again, something like the Olympics, with such amazing athletes, we're really always prepared for whatever we need to be prepared for.
You start with dressage on the 27th, so that's right after opening ceremony.
Yes.
Will the team be able to participate in the opening ceremony?
Yes, so the team will be able to participate.
Fantastic.
I know they're incredibly excited about it. It's quite unique that eventing is going first, and so I think for these guys, a lot of them, it'll be their first time to be able to participate in that.
It won't be a distraction to the dressage on the first event?
We're hoping not. We'll get them home a bit earlier so they'll be able to do at least one component of the opening ceremonies and get that feeling at the Olympic Village with all the other athletes.
Amazing. And may they also have reason to stay for the closing ceremony. May they have medals around their neck. I'm thinking about Canada's history in eventing.
Yes.
One medal. It's such an unusual story. 1956 in the Melbourne Games.
Yes.
But it was in Stockholm, Sweden, because of quarantine rules.
Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of a funny story, but a bronze medal in 1956, and that's been it for eventing.
Yes.
What are your hopes for Team Canada here in Paris?
Yeah, so I think for us, really on the individual level, our goal is for all of these guys to put in what we're calling a personal solid. So really trusting what they know and executing on that. For the team, if all three of them can do that, we're hoping for at least really a top 8 team finish. And I think in the bigger picture, really we want to showcase the sport of eventing and the amazing Canadian horses and riders that compete in this sport.
Given the number of cameras that I think are going to be here in Versailles, I think you're going to be showcasing for sure. Emily, have a wonderful opening ceremony.
Thank you.
Best of luck, good weather over those 3 days, and all the best for Team Canada.
Thank
Thanks
you very
for coming.
much. Thank you.